We're back at Severn-Side, to the west of Thornbury, to the east of the River Severn, and we're looking at the Dark Ages landmarks as displayed here, the boundary of the charter of Littleton-Upon-Severn. And we started on the edge of the Severn, walking along its coast, and then inland towards Cowahula, which is mentioned in the charter. And now we're on our way to Flogger's Yete. So now that we've gone over the brow of the hill, only ever so slightly, and we're now away from the Bristol Channel, the Severn, and the wind has died down, which makes it so much more pleasant. Was fed up of the wind. I'm following a sign that said Littleton Loop, which deviates from the footpath, but it does look as though it's inviting. It's an official sign inviting one of these permissive paths, hopefully. See if it goes, because I want to have a look at some stuff, but I didn't want to trespass. And if they're saying come and have a look, then they're saying come and have a look. So hopefully it'll be productive. This might be the last time we see the Cow Hill. We're going into the settlement of Cow Hill, obviously named after it. And but this is Flogger's Yete, which means Flog's Gate. No idea who Flog was, but it's another tiny insight into it. The only interesting thing I can say about it is the spelling of Yete, which is I-E-T-E, which is more of a Middle English. Actually, a lot of these names are more Middle English than they are Old English. So the charter itself that describes these Dark Age landmarks is Old English, is Anglo-Saxon, but it seems to have been copied later on, a couple hundred years later, and they do replace the names with words that are more meaningful to them, but even more convoluted and strange to us, well, certainly to me, as the Old English. This is the Powell's Brook, which means Powell's Brook. It goes through the middle of this valley. Incidentally, they've moved the footpath down, so it's much muddier down by the brook. It's one of the reasons why very often there's so many ridgeways in England, is to keep your feet dry. A bit windier. You don't have to get wet. I'm getting wet now. Bloody hell. So that was Cow Hill settlement, and what we're looking for is Stock Lane, and what is marked on the charter, another Dark Ages landmark of StockX. Is probably, like I was saying earlier on, because it was copied in the Middle Ages, it's made mistakes. It's probably Stockers and Stockers Brocker, Stoke Brock. There's loads of places: Stoke Lane, Stoke Brook, modern Stoke House, modern English names that derive from Stockers, which is survives in the English language as stockade, which is a wooden enclosure. So this is Stock Lane we're going along now, and we're heading back up the hill. See if we can find the StockX Brocker, probably Stockers Brocker, and you get into other landmarks up there, and be looking for, and a lot of them are still on the OS map today, just slightly modified, a few different vowels, but which makes most of this this trip quite easy to identify. It's a very wide road, this. It's obviously it's a drove way, obviously a greenway, so that you can drive your herd of geese or lambs or whatever, drive them to market, and they won't starve along the way. Well, it's 6:20 in the evening. If I'm not careful, I'm going to end up in the dark, lost in the woods. So I've done about half what I wanted to do. So the next bit now is to go back to the car and come out another day. But that was Stock Lane. It comes onto the B road or A road, whatever. B road, I think. And then there's another path leads off up into the woods, and those woods I want to explore. deer right at the end of the day, as if a little reward for going, for making the effort. I haven't gone very far, 3 miles, but maybe a bit longer. I didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve, but there's a lot of things here to show you that I've seen today. So all in all, quite successful.